to actually be able to do it. So yeah, like I guess I think that round is going to be stained into my brain for eternity. So I yeah, there are a few people justifying it. Obviously the world class analysts out there who are telling me how good a play that was to throw a 1 versus 3 with the Zeus, but whatever. You know, I've only watched about 5 years worth of Counter-Strike and have no idea what I'm talking about. Here we go.
Exactly.
It is going to be the pistol round. It is the CT side start for Tiger. Now, we saw a close match earlier. Obviously, the side of Vici basically coming a little bit too close. If anything, probably should have lost a map, if we're being brutally honest here. And it's a bit of a worrying sign, because unless we're about to like watch tomorrow Tyloo come in and also have some close matches, to see some of the other teams struggle is a bit of a problem. Now, obviously, we saw that in the Oceania as well, with Order having some issues and then almost managing to win the whole thing. So maybe there's something about building into the tournament. Luckily for teams, this is a very, very long tournament. You have to play every single team, so it takes us some time. And while for the side of After, they're going to get an After plant, as they are going to be sat back. But there's something we commonly see, and they haven't really done what I like to see, at least, which I guess is not always the most important thing, but you want to see them take some control, because right now they're having to fight back. The furthest forward position they have is Oil. All the angles here are horrific, and I think the only reason Sakai actually gets away with anything is because of some missed shots on the CT side. But they know all the angles they need to be checking. You've done nothing surprising. They're just going to get on the bomb, and yeah, the reason you want to get aggressive in these rounds, right, if you're someone who plays at home, is because the Glocks are very good up close. At range, they're definitely more questionable. And more so, it's a very, very easy site to retake. This is why this used to be the most retakeable site in the game. It may even still be, but teams have adapted to try and make this a little bit better for the holds. And, well, seemingly for After, they didn't even get the memo.
The entire point, right, is that you don't want to give your opponent space and make them worried about every single angle. The point where you let them get all the way up to the site before there's any real fight to take, they're already so comfortable with where you can be. There are only a very finite number of positions, and essentially the fight is now in front of them, and they're very close to the bomb as well. So it is a big problem if you don't really make them fight for it, because the clock won't be against them by the time they get close enough to start playing around with the defuse and baiting you into the open. Great nades, fantastic usage early on by Tiger. That's a good opening by Cabal. Now, when I look down at the After side, you know, they had some decent plays when it came to the double op setup. Maybe this is somewhere that at least on the T side, the single op can make a little bit of a difference for them when it does come out. Obviously, in a round like this, you expect nothing. They've only got pistols, Glocks for the most part. That was a massacre, as it should be. But they've gone for the investment straight away. Now, some teams, Tom, you'll see take like SMGs in this round or pistols again in order to get a really strong full buy. Like, you can see immediately they're lacking a bit of utility. They haven't got an op up, but they want to contest very early on and then really just stick the fight to Tiger, which I can't disagree with.
Well, actually a pretty decent buy coming in here for Tiger. Normally we talk about these rounds being a little bit questionable, but they invested very heavily into their rifles rather than the SMGs. And I think the one player who did actually have an SMG has ended up dropping it to make sure they retrieved the rifle that was dropped in the last round. So not a bad position for them at all. Much more utility than their opponents, although not a bad position for After either. Well, Wang's actually gone for an SG. Now, this is only really commonly seen nowadays by AWPers who don't like rifles. I think that's the only way I can really put it. Like, if you're playing that T side, you're using an SG, most of the time you're probably someone who likes to AWP, and you can't afford an AWP.
I'll look into this position for After, and you gotta wonder, 40 seconds on the clock. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when Tiger don't come for you? Because then you've got to make the move. And it looks like, well, at the moment they're shifting towards upper B, but they've got literally no control here. I was thinking this would be a pot dog split because they had some kind of an attempt at Ivy, but it doesn't seem to be. The Ivy play has pulled back the upper control, but there's a player down in Pop who's going to be able to come up behind fast. They need to deal with Dobu. The bomb will at least be planted, and Wang is watching for Dobu's flank. Dobu even deciding against it to move into connector on the back of all the ground that his teammates have managed to find here. They're already out. They're seeing there's nobody up close yet again. Bingo's trying to throw a spanner in the works by playing on the bomb side itself, but now he's being spotted. The swing is good. Urkas is already taken down by Wang, but Bingo's known to be here, and I really don't see a way that he reinvents this angle. They see him go to oil train, and he is gone, leaving Wang by himself. Another kill on the board already. A good swing, but no delivery afterwards. Tiger do still get this round with the defuse coming through. And with the bomb plant, I don't really want to see them take a full investment on this one. I would rather that they just take this lightly and then get that off out. I think that's going to be the potential turning point for them to try and get involved in those early round duels.
That's what you want to happen. What do you believe will happen?
Oh, they're going to fully invest right now and probably just run into their debts. That's what I believe in my heart will happen.
Oh. Oh.
Yes!
A whole
it's happening.
New world.
It is. They are doing it. They're taking the pistols out. I love this. Good approach by After. All jokes aside. I definitely think it's the right call because their utility would have been limited and obviously no op in play.
Well, we'll see how much damage they can do here because realistically there's not been that much money made. 9 is yet to buy. Is he going to go for a secondary AWP? He is. Bit of an interesting time to go for it. I guess they were expecting as well that they would force into this one. They've also got an SG, so in a retake, this would be horrific.
Yeah, this would be very, very bad for them to try and retake with. And you know, I agree with them in a way, taking out that double up setup just because... Oh, no. Cabal's up behind with the USP. He's not being punished. He's off them through the box. What's happening? He was just given so much space. These guys are low. It's going to be such an easy finisher now for either player taking a duel. NCL's got bad timing, though. He's not clearing his left side, and he's taken down by a Deagle. A Bingo upgrade to a rifle. This is starting to fall apart a little bit. Into the 2 versus 2. The damage done already is fantastic by After. And they're going to go for the long rotation to the B side. Bingo looks like he'll get there in time. It all depends on... Yep, no, they haven't rotated. Oh, he's going upper. No, he's going lower. He'll get a plant, though. As long as he sticks it. Oh, and doesn't plant in that position.
That is an edgy plant. I quite like it, but at the same time, if you're going for that plant, why are you... Okay. I'll be honest. Little bit confused.
He's just staring at the molly. Oh no. Right, yeah. Why risk the plant in the open if you're not going to capitalize on it?
Well, I assume he must have like heard someone rotating a bit quicker than he expected, but because even then, if he had any nades, like the normal lineup doesn't work anymore. It just makes things more awkward for yourself. I do find there's a lot of people do that when you play. Like they'll go for an audacious plant and then not do anything with it, and it's just pointless in that scenario. Obviously, taking that round as a whole, bomb plant, 3 kills, that's pretty damn good. And they have got Mr. Wang back on his AWP, so not a bad position for them to be in. But now they need to actually do something with it. Damage is all well and good, but if they don't actually win a round, it's meaningless. Now, Cabal's already gone. It seemed like he was playing the classic matchmaking angle of holding T-main from connector, which well, there's a reason most people don't do that, and that's because it doesn't really work. Like, it gives a really good angle to whoever's in T-main. This aggression, though, from Urkas, though, no one there to punish. Very easy kill. I guess nobody expected him to be there at this point of the round, but hey, they'll take that one all day long. And they're actually going to bait them back in towards 9, who's now set up with an AWP. I would, however, like that if this angle's now taken, Urkas maybe rotate back and have a little bit more presence on the other side of the map.
Especially because he's holding a smoke. It's not like he's going to get 9 out of this position if things get heated. And yeah, he makes the call to rotate back over. Pops a flash bottom ramp. I think that's just a fake out that they're not there. Totem pole down, but it gets nothing. NCL shuts it. Chops them down completely. Wang gets tagged. Oh, but that just alerts him to Dobu's presence. And Sakai in with another. It's a 2v2. This is completely winnable, but the bomb is dropped. It needs to be retrieved. A deep molly to push these players back. They smoke on top of it. They obviously give away the fact that they're in there, but it doesn't do a lot for an op that is to retake this angle. Sakai's going to have to be the one that goes through.
What?
What are they doing? Oh, it was a flash straight into Pop. That's blinded Sakai. What the hell was that? Why? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, thank you. The observer agrees with us. Just what? I'm gonna flash. Okay, I'll stare at it and run in. Let's go.
Oh, I'm crying. It looked like they had a real plan for a second. And then he flashes his teammate, runs in and dies. Oh, or was that their flash? It didn't get a flash assist.
No, that was a team flash. I'm 99% sure. Hopefully we have a replay of that. I want to make sure. If that was a team flash, that was a team flash, right?
I don't know. There was no flash assist, so
okay, hold on. We're gonna get this visualized for us.
Oh, that one got me. I enjoyed that one. I was like, oh, they've got a plan. Lineup. It just gets completely blind. Well, nonetheless, they made another costly round. Nice lineup as well onto 9. It's not going to kill him. Needed to be a little bit higher, but hey, we'll take the damage. And speaking of damage, the CT side are still not in the best of states. In fact, they've got an MP9 into this round for Dobu, which definitely not ideal. Although looking like he might go for a bit of aggression. Sakai as well. Patiently waiting. We're seeing a lot of different weapons here, Mitch. The AUG, I feel like this is the one map where it is still viable.
Oh god.
Why?
Dobu's just getting all the opportunities. People trying to Zeus him, dropping down inside their own smokes.
But was that not his smoke?
Sorry, how did that nade only do 26 damage to him? That was in his face. This man is shrapnel proof. He's walked past just... Oh, hello. NCL's ran right into the op. Wang will take that. No problem.
Oh, dear. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Nice shot from Dobu. There's still a man in Olaf they have to be wary of. They've got about 30 seconds, and they've actually decided to go B, leaving one man lurking behind. 9 has rotated in as well. This is, well, this is what we call disjointed, Mitch. They are just pushing all over the place. 2 players walked into A, and 2 had decided they're not going A and that they're going B. And then as a man walked into B, the others decided, okay, we're going to go A. Fake plant. They really don't have time for this. And 9 has just wrapped around once again. Yeah.
It's another one of those things where you're like,
we got the replay, Mitch. Let's get the replay. I want to see this.
Let's take a look.
I want to see this.
Let's take a look at this replay. So,
okay. So he looks away. There,
yeah,
it is.
That is a team flash, 100%. Sakai just so this. Hold on. He stared at the flash and then ran in. Then he was like, "No, I'm gonna go. I can't see a thing, but I'm gonna go." Can I just yet again say, Sakai is my least favorite player to watch. That's the most ridiculous decision making. Maybe if he was running in as he got flashed, but it popped in his face and he went, now is the time to go. What are you doing, man?
You thought they were blind too. Are they going to win this round? Is this going to be their first round win? Go on, 9. This is what we like to see.
It doesn't matter if they were blind too, because it's 2v1 of blind people. You're still going to lose that.
Very, very close. Oh, because that is awkward. He spotted him running. He's got the AWP as well. We're going to bring this back to normality. Try and forget about what they've done.
Again.
All right. Oh, nice shot. He actually legs him as well. Bingo! He's going to win the round. How's this the one they take? And that is, well, painful to say the least for Tiger. Their money is absolutely ruined. Even an eco here would leave them in a pretty awkward spot. And why, if Blair is still sat there watching, he probably has another tweet now with that wonderful flashbang. Again, big shout out to PGL, because while the round is ongoing, while they're observing, they're also getting us clips that we can giggle at, which thank you very much for that, guy.
Is that you find that enjoyable, do you? Because I do not.
That, honestly, I am not kidding. That made me cry with laughter. Like, that tickled me beyond belief, because at this point, I just accepted it. That's the key, Mitch. Acceptance. And that one, well, I can't believe that he decided to start moving after he was flashed.
Like, it would have been funny enough if he was on his way in and the flash popped in his face, and it's like, well, you were already in the doorway. Screw it. It's just unfortunate that you didn't listen to your teammate, presumably saying he was going to flash. But the fact that he has literally stood way outside the door, stared at the doorway while his teammate's like, I'm gonna flash in to pop, and he's like, all right, I got it, I'm holding it, gets flashed, and then goes, now I will run. This is my time to shine. I don't understand what was going on in that man's head.
I would imagine it's like the opposite of a deer in headlights. Like, the deer freezes up, whereas he starts running, which is probably quite an unfortunate thing. Like, he ever gets flashbanged in game, he just runs into a wall.
It's
in
what
real
you'd
life.
want a deer to do. You know, if a car is coming, at least then you can dodge out the way. If you started running, that's I don't know. I can't take much more of this time, I'll be honest.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. Wasn't Hunden using this spot? Good one. Or was it was Zona?
Oh, no.
Zona, he was using it on a regular basis.
Oh no.
There's
some mechano gun here.
Pretty good angle. Get right up to the windows and have a look around.
I think they're going B, boys. How do you know? I just think they are. I feel this is a round where they go B.
Intuition, you know. Intuition.
But they've just full smoked the A site. I know, but I watched a lot of their demos.
I wonder if every time, like, he just dressed up as like one of those like palm readers, was just like, sense it in the T, and they're like, what are you talking about? It's like,
show me your
they're
smokes.
Going B this round. Or, well, he can't even say going B because they could go pop. So he's like, they're not going A. They're not going A main or Ivy. Oh, wait, one of them's going Ivy. It's like, wow, your reads are really good today. Oh, no, I just heard the sound at the perfect moment. Yeah, it's, wow. I do wonder if some of the players genuinely, because if they genuinely got like bamboozled by that, they must have just believed that there was a god on their side. But yeah, back to the game, hopefully fairly soon. Obviously, this game has been plagued with a few technical issues, but it happens. Day one, people at home, that's always going to be a problem. Like, unfortunately, it's not like when we're at like proper events and everything's been brought through by the organizer, everything's been set up by the organizer. I still remember one team actually managing to turn off all of the practice PCs at a certain event. I'm not going to name the event because it wasn't their fault, and also they're not going to name the team either. But what they did is they plugged in a hairdryer to the extension lead that had a lot of the computers attached to it, and shorted out the circuit.
Oh my.
And they got told, never do that again, please. Which I think is a fairly reasonable thing, because I don't think I would have told.
Wet?
Oh no.
Why do they need one?
See, this might give it away for a few people who know the story, but basically there is a team that likes to play with warm mouse mats.
Oh,
so they were using a hairdryer on their mouse mats, and I quote, because it gives more friction.
That's, yeah. And then, did they travel with a tarot card reader to every game to figure out their strats or what? That's moronic. But okay.
I think it's just a superstition more than anything.
Well, it is, yeah, absolutely.
I won't say there's any science.
There's superstitions like, oh, I have to start eating my sandwich from the flat end And then there's, I think that's more just OCD.
Rich Campbell, who recently retired as a host. Very funny man. Did a little bit of Counter-Strike. He said this on a DreamHack desk, so I could safely say that it's all right for me to repeat it. That if the day goes well, but on the first day, he does not change his underwear for the entire event.
Excuse me?
That was his superstition.
Well, I'm glad he's not working on PGL with us. Jesus.
Yeah, that little room would be not the greatest, but that's probably one of the most disgusting. Yeah, no, that's one of the most disgusting superstitions. What he did say is when he wasn't working, he would change into another pair, but that didn't make me feel any better about it, especially because a lot of the time there's a hell of a lot of people at those events, like in those halls, and some of those stink just in general. No offense if you're one of those people, but yeah, realistically, not changing your underwear is gross, and I don't care if it's superstition. Rich, please never do that again. Luckily now he's a full-time streamer and he's killing it, so yeah, doesn't need to do that anymore. Maybe he just does that if he's doing a 24-hour stream. This round though, as we've I have waffled through. It was a force buy attempted by Tiger, so this was all of their money put into this round. It's the scouts being saved alongside a Deke for 9. And as we sort of talk about, especially, I feel that the lower down we go, although I still heavily put this over as a CT-sided map, I'm pretty sure your stats back up that this is the most CT-sided map in the game when it comes to the top tier of Counter-Strike. The problem is, when it comes to the lower tiers of Counter-Strike, there's a lot more T-side rounds start coming up because, teams struggle to hold A main. So I won't be as worried for Tiger if they let a few more slip, but at the same time, as we've spoken about, this is not their goal opponent, I guess you could say. Like, we have seen After made some of the worst mistakes we've seen so far, and maybe throughout the tournament, but obviously this is only day 1, and they want to be winning this one convincingly.
It has been an up and down series, but Wang, he's got the opening straight through the wall. A wallbang lineup that we've seen him use a couple of times, getting success, getting some tags. Now the headshot for the opening duel, and you know, when you're up against pistols, I guess it's not the time you need to have plays like that coming through, but it certainly helps. Oh, and he's being scouted. All right.
Oh, the B site is completely open, so even though that has gone a little bit wrong, he's going to be trying to defend this. Okay, never mind.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually realized that the gun is gone. And, well, now we are going to have the push coming in onto the B site. I don't really expect, even with this AWP, there'll be too much to do here. Oi still looks like he's defending a gun that's not actually there anymore. I'm finally making the realization. But as I said, it doesn't really matter. Urka's just trying to save the gun, and Oi might be about to steal it back in response. I don't really see a way that Urkas can get out of this without killing at least a couple of people.
They're all around him, but he might have kind of evaded them at this point. 10 seconds left on the bomb. He's got like 15 to survive. I think he might be good if he just doesn't make any noise. This is the luckiest save I've... Oh, no. Sam Fisher's about to be spotted.
You got away with that. I love how there's 3 of them checking Ivy, by the way.
Just to make sure.
They all ran into the same corner behind the bin. As if the first guy went... Oh, he's not. Is he in the bin? That's dirty from Wang. I do love that he's going for that wallbang attempt like multiple times. Like, it's a sick shot to hit. Well, here we go either way. Very aggressive push. Well, that didn't quite go to plan. Sakai, I'm pretty sure he missed every... No, he definitely did miss every single bullet because there isn't a single point of damage on that defensive side. So not the start he was looking for. Trying to be very aggressive. I mean, as said, it's where we do see a lot of teams struggle. Urkus in an aggressive position. I don't think this spot is going to be expected, but surely he can't get more than 1 kill. Even if he gets 1, I'll be surprised. And well, there you go. Bingo is the unlucky duckling. And now with the remaining players rotating in, we have to see whether or not they'll get a little bit more aggressive this time, Mitch.
Oh, well, look. A little bit of aggression taken by Marek. He's able to hold down over the oil train. That should delay them a bit and guarantee the bomb plant. It's a good start. Is it going to be a good finish? Well, maybe, actually. Wang's delivering with the op up above. A little bit of a haircut for Marek. But he somehow managed to survive that. Those bullets just whizzing past him in the smoke. No opportunities being given over. This is looking like it's going to be the round going over to after. And 9 is trying to get out of there alive with the op, but 15 seconds left. They are in hot pursuit coming up around the corner. Oh, okay. That should be the weapon saved after that.
The last few rounds, I've seen a couple of players actually rise to the occasion. This is now 4 on the T side for after. As said, like, I'm not as worried for Tiger if they were playing up against top tier opposition. Although, well, if they're playing against top tier opposition and making some of the mistakes we're seeing, it probably wouldn't last very long. But the thing that does worry me is just how much money after have got, especially on the T side. Like, things are a lot less expensive. You have the bomb plants available to them. And as said, like, Urka's position there, I'm not a fan. Like, there's no escape. Like, there's nothing he can do there other than a cheeky little kill. So unless he was expecting one man to sort of lurk through into the upper brown horns, there's not really a chance for anything to happen here. They're going to go back to sending 9 aggressively, and obviously with him having the only weapon in this round, it's understandable that that would be the case. And, well, similar results.
The amount of progress that after are getting is actually quite good. I'm impressed with the fact that they're managing to... Excuse me. I'm impressed by the fact they're actually managing to pull this back together, considering the start was less than ideal. And we've seen some very sloppy mistakes by them. Be a weapon for NCL. He's got this. You knew it. You could just feel it.
Yeah, I think all we're really being proven, though, is that like, after definitely do have some decent individual players. Like, the fact that a lot of their plays in this map so far has basically been like, okay, let's go for a bit of aggression towards B, like blast our way through and just try and clutch it out individually. The same thing on the A side, with just players running through. Now, obviously, the way they managed to get their first round, I think, ultimately just screwed up Tiger. Like, that pistol rush out Ivy that ends up just completely destroying the economy of the CT side, and they've never really recovered from that point onwards. At the same time, though, I do expect a little bit more from Tiger, even if we haven't really seen a whole lot of them since like the previous RMR. I believe they might have played in like one of those the DreamHack online tournaments, that they haven't had regular matches. So I guess we can't really sit there and go, oh, we know that they're going to be good, especially after falling flat in the last RMR as well. But I still expect more than what we're currently witnessing. As said, 6 rounds on the board for 5 is a pretty poor scoreline in a normal match of Counter-Strike. And unless we are going to see after with a very poor CT side, this is already a pretty good showing from them.
I'm very underwhelmed by Tiger's performance so far. You know, as we were saying earlier on, the reality is, as a team that come in, and even in the interview you heard them say, oh, we want to win this tournament, you know, that we weren't happy we didn't win the previous one, we want to win this one. Well, you're not going to, not if you're struggling this much versus a team making the mistakes that after are. And as well as that, not just making the mistakes, but this after team does not weigh up to the individuals that are in play over on Tyloo.
It shouldn't, at least at the moment they are.
No, but I'm saying on Tyloo, right?
So if you're Tyloo, yeah, you're right.
If you're going to win this, you got to beat Tyloo. And Tyloo make less mistakes, and they're a much better individual team. That's a disgusting push by Dobu after the earlier tags. And a nice little opening for the CT side. In a round that they really needed it in. Bingo, though. He's coming through. He's got a full card. Able to take down NCL and get out of there alive.
It seems like NCL there was just caught sleeping. Like, the angle he takes it just seems so unnecessarily risky. Dobu's going to try and back out of A main, which I like. You already have the man advantage. You don't need to be playing so aggressively anymore. And the T's are going to fall back into this same sort of default where they just slowly make their way back towards one of these sites. They've still got the AWP on Wang, which has had some pretty decent openers so far for them. And by the looks of it, they're just going to attempt to walk out, not even throwing any grenades, just sneaking their way out. And the bomb's actually leading the charge. This is a big risk. I don't know if Dobu's actually spotted him. Yeah, that's the bomb down.
Oh, well, Nine's returned one at least. Bomb still needs to be planted. Great shot by Wang. This guy is nuts. I've seen him at the op now a couple of times deliver those kind of shots. I'm really enjoying watching him. Oh my god! He comes through with another, closing out the round. And yeah, this is the thing. Wang has shown himself to be a solid player. Bingo's had some damn good games. We know we can expect good things from Oi and Marek, although evidently not in this game. But they have the individuals. They have a lineup that on paper isn't terrible. And yet, in practice, they have so much to learn. And this is the kind of stuff that, and I mean this genuinely, I'm not overstating this or anything. I feel like I've seen mixes, like rank S pugs, where teams have had more chemistry in playing off each other. Just from that day one, just from the comms, really. They're able to play off each other better than what we've seen in some moments anyways from this after team.
NCL is going to open things up. Now that last round, excluding like the focus on after, was really sloppy from the side of Tiger. Like that was what, a 1 versus 3. The bomb dropped in the open. Like that's one that you should never be losing. Trying to take it individually is what actually ends up throwing it away. This time, though, NCL has got off to a flying start. I think we are starting to see some of the holes in their team now that Cabal isn't quite performing to that high standard. And Urkus gonna do some chip damage. Another kill off the back of the Deagles. It's going relatively well so far. They did have a fair few invested into this round. Was the magic number 4? They might have even had 4 in this situation, as it's now left all on to Marek as he faces off against NCL, the man who started it all. He has Kevlar behind him, and he hears the bomb being planted. This time, Marek can actually get aggressive with his bomb plant. Seemingly is sitting on it for now.
Well. After are in the lead, and if you asked me, was this possible? No. No, even now I'm wiping my eyes and wondering what I'm looking at. And what's the most confusing about this, Tom, is that it's Oi and Marek just not really being here either. That's the most confusing part for me. Wang has stepped up on this op to an extent that I didn't think he could. I mentioned that he'd had some good games alongside Bingo in previous tournaments versus D13, for example, and so I was looking forward to seeing what they had to offer. But this is one hell of a carry by them. And versus Tiger of all teams. Like, look, the reality is as well, as I was saying in the pre-show of this, Tiger were very sloppy when it came to the late stages of the previous RMR. They were making a lot of mistakes and giving back advantages. But the turnaround that After have made, alongside the fact that Tiger are being a little bit underwhelming, it's making for a close game.
Well, we're finally seeing what I would consider a fall buy coming up for Tiger. They've had some riskier force buys and some questionable purchases, but this one is at least looking a little bit better. Sakai is going to be the first to fall, and again, they're going to fall back into this B default. Now, they've been able to break down Urkus a fair few times, catching him off in audacious positions. This time, it's not a good spray. He does damage to 2 players, and it's 9, in fact, to hold on the cross. He's been doing relatively well. It is both Orpus, in fact, who have been the main player to watch. Both burning as they try and rotate around. And again, we're going to see a fairly interesting plant for not having any aggressive positioning.
Oh my god, this guy. Wang is on point, but he swings out a little bit too eager to get into the action. Gets shut down, so it's back to a 2v3. Man advantage now in play when it comes to the CT side. Time is quite low, though. They've got to get on this. Already going in for the bomb defusal. And Bingo's going to have to wide swing. He can't actually spot that no one's on the bomb, but they're going to gamble that they're not. And it's the correct gamble to make. They don't even have time to stick it anymore, even with the kit. Tiger, they got way too busy trying to catch those frags. Oh, that's a disaster.
Yeah, they've struggled. I think, what's this, 8 rounds in a row now for After? I think it was 6-0, right?
I think so, yeah.
A rough one, to say the least. And I think we've definitely found that, well, if Vici or Tyloo potentially even want to try and push them to train, that might not be a bad place to go, because this has been a rough one. As said, like, this was a weird plant. Like, it's not one that we see too regularly. Like, you either go for the default, or maybe you do plant in that direction, then get aggressive. You don't normally sit back. It's almost like they've sort of stolen certain ideas from EU and then just like didn't, like, they've read one page and then didn't bother reading the rest of the book.
Yeah, exactly.
It just seems a bit weird. Like, oh yeah, we go for this aggressive plant, and then I'm sure it doesn't matter. Chuck it on the floor. But yeah, the worrying thing as well is they're able to get away with these rounds. And like, Tiger have not been doing particularly well in the retake. As said, like, there've been some aggressive positions that they're taking when they're not working, and that's the problem. Like, you see a lot of the time with teams that aren't really performing very well, that they get into habits, or they get into recurring themes where you'll see, for example, Urkus going, well, I'm going to win the duel next time. It's like, well, why not put yourself in a position where you don't have to, and you can win the round without it, or put it in a crossfire? Because that spot that he's on there, if you're playing well, is perfect. Like, you spray down 2 players, you walk away, and you have a nice round. Instead, because he hasn't quite been on point over the last few, he again gets taken down. The B site falls to his opposition. His teammate of 9 has to basically get a multi-frag with the AWP. It's an unwinnable position, and this B site has been a real problem. This time, he is actually going to take a little bit of a more passive stance, as his teammate is going to open things up. And with the man advantage, it's looking like a slightly better position, Mitch.
Yeah, the Urkus is really trapped, though. He finds one, and he's able to grab a second. Okay, this is good. If he can tuck in and just push with his team, this could be it locked down. Cabal, good for 1. Urkus is isolated, though. Wang chucks away his op and gets caught in the open. That's a shame. He was the last player alive, so obviously they were going to force the fight. And so they end up on top. 8-7 at the halftime. It's not a terrible position by any means for After, though, because they can be more than happy with the damage that they've done on their attack. I mean, this was a spot where I probably expected them with 6 rounds at very most. And with them losing the pistol, I thought we were looking at probably like an 11-4 or something like that. The fact that they've ended up winning the half is huge.
And now going on to the CT side, this is where we see if they're actually a good trained team. Because I think on the T side, like, a lot of the strategies you're going to come up with are relatively basic, and it's just going to come down to individual presence. Like, if you're having a good game, Train can be a map that you really do perform on, especially with your AWPer doing well. So on the CT side, however, rotation's much more important. Utility usage to deny any of those aggressive peaks, also very important. And we're going to see the mini raid boss. Cabal is going to be handed a P250 to try and have some extra range damage. I would assume in this case that they are going to be heading into the B site and hoping that he can find them the opener. And with an initial stack on A, it wasn't the worst of calls, but after taking a long time to clear out a lot of these more aggressive angles, there's going to be a second player in position.
Cabal's open. This smoke going down nice and deep. That's going to block out connector and allow them to get to site. Taps away by Wang, not connecting, unfortunately. That was a team dink onto 9. Must have been. Well, that's a shame. He's now 50 HP to try and take these fights. 9 goes through the smoke, doesn't give a damn about his health. He's able to easily take a double with NCL's flash. Cabal on another, leaves Oi all by himself. And with one under his belt, he's going to have to be a Saber, chopping these guys in half, and it's only 2 that he's able to take with him to the grave afterwards, putting it on an 8-8 scoreline. With Tiger winning out that pistol, it's both pistols under their belt, Tom. I mean, again, similar to Inferno, you can imagine if they lost one pistol, they lost that one there, they would be the underdogs again.
This is a really nice shot from Cabal. I like, although he hasn't had necessarily the best game in the world, that his team is still relying on him to get those openers, because that's always the thing when you're probably going to doubt yourself the most. If your teammates, after, you know, you have the normal strat of dropping the P250, go, oh, no, I think I'll keep it this round. I'm like, no, man, no, I got a different idea. Only 3 Deegs, Mitch, so according to your theory, this isn't going to work.
Statistically, it cannot. If I know one thing about the Asia region, it's that you need 4 Deagles to win these rounds. It's been proven mathematically. We have our formula. Let's see if After can break it. But he got a single player holding towards B, and I mean, it would have to be huge by Bingo on decent range as well. That RNG is going to come into effect even more so. I do like, though, I noticed that on the previous map, I like the combination of his gloves with his deagle. Nice green theme.
I think that's the first positive thing you've said about After this entire series. So at least he's got a good eye. And in fact, similarly, like the light blue with the green CZ, I don't mind that either. That's a bit of a clash, but, you know. Here we go. Nice start for Bingo. 9 there to trade things up. They've taken a lot of damage, and a Deeg or 2 could definitely cause them some problems as Oi is doing the damage once again. Sakai trying to come in from behind. The CZ reloading, but he's enabled to retreat. And Oi is just doing this all on his own. I think your math might be a little bit off here as NCL now has to try and clutch this, and he's not going to be able to.
Well, that's just broken. I don't know how they've managed to win that round. Oi dominating. I think he counts as 2 Deagles considering the amount of kills he found. Glorious stuff. And you look at the position now that they're in. You know, you're not you're not terribly upset, are you? Really, you lose the pistol, you come back in, you win up that force. What are the T-side going to do? Money is pretty weak that I can afford like a mixed investment, but it's not the most convincing. And then they'd have an eco afterwards. So realistically, you could be talking about a comfortable 11-8 scoreline.
Yeah, of course, we're expecting to see a reinvestment from the T's as well. So it's not like this is a position where they couldn't just win the force buy right back. The problem is their buy in comparison does suck. Like it's a few rifles on the other side, 1 SMG, and a fair amount of utility, whereas we're looking at a Deagle or 3 Deagles and a couple of Tech 9s. That nade actually gonna do a reasonable amount of damage. It looked like NCL pretty much ate that one, but didn't quite do as much damage as I expected. On the other side of things, the T's, I don't necessarily mind them going towards Ivy. It's one of the more close quarters positions where a gun's going to be given up, and you can see that in this case, After have decided to try and sit a little bit more passive so that there's not really an opportunity, for example, in Pop, or if you were running down the B ramp to give away a gun, which is actually quite smart from them. With the amount of utility they have, they are just going to look to try and buy themselves as much time as possible and force their opponents into an awkward position.
Oi, swinging. Able to isolate one fight, then gets sprayed in the back by a Tech 9. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a problem, though, because the rest of the team are there to deal with it. Marek swinging in with a 3K and putting them back up in the lead. 10-8, spreading out those rounds a little bit. This will be an eco from Tiger, so I really don't imagine much is going to be happening. I like the approach. You know, Oi isolating fights and getting taken down isn't ideal, but the fact that he has teammates there, so you'll notice as soon as he falls, Marek just comes through this smoke, and he's able to easily just take out those 2. Look at Battle being left super low. It was easy pickings. This is their chance to build up a little bit of money over on that CT side, because obviously their investment has been pretty substantial to reinvest into this round. But at least they, provided they don't lose any players, they won't have to rebuy the next.
Ooh. Okay, it's a bit awkward. A lot of these sprays have been very awkward, but by the looks of it, there's actually going to be no kills. I don't know if Urkus is hoping that maybe they believe this is some sort of fake bomb and will rotate away, but it's more so seems he's just hoping someone pushes into his crosshair. And realistically, there is zero reason for anybody to even try this. Just wait patiently, hold your crossfire. Should be very easy cleanup, and it will be. Flawless round. Again, money being built up, and now we're finally going to see a purchase coming up for Tiger, but even still, it won't have an AWP within it.
And you know, once that op comes comes out over on the CT side, that's where things can also take a little bit of a turn for the worse. Wang has been consistent opening things up on the attack, and once he swaps over to a defensive side where he can tuck down and really force those fights out or maintain the map control himself, I feel like this is a position where they'll thrive. But of course, Tiger have got a lot more depth to their lineup, so you're imagining when it comes down to executing, or, well, countering the ops, executing on the bomb sites is something they'll be able to do relatively well, and already double openings for them. Urkast up on top of the train, has no idea about the sneaky play by Sakai, but he's being spotted. Woo! 2 kills still. Great work. But in the end, it might not matter. 2v1 emerges, and Bingo's got it all to do.
I'm a bit confused. Nine's taking an awful long time. Oh, he's going to catch the bomb, isn't he? Oh, Nine just about connects the shot. That really could have all gone wrong. Not knowing where that last man was. It will be 11-9. And the CT side are still going to be able to get a purchase here. So doesn't really matter too much as long as they win this next round. The chance to take it to 3 still there. But yeah, a very good start to the round. And then this happened. I don't really know how Sakai manages to get away with 3 kills here. Like that is some serious whiffing from the. That's almost a full 360-degree turn he had to make to kill those different players. I would give it a 270 if I'm doing it myself. So don't know how he gets away with 3 kills there, but he did.
Definitely a situation of big props to Sakai. One of the better plays that we've seen from him for sure. And if you're Tiger, and I guess it got a little bit worrying, right? That player was left unchecked and he was given so much space. Reaction took a bit long to eventually take him out. Marek. Oh, he's standing a molly. He is tanking that damage, looking for a fight. Quite lucky they didn't face him, actually, or he'd be dead by now.
Well, ability in the best of spots for the T's. A wide peek from NCL, but luckily Marek then goes for an even wider peek and trades the kill straight back. Even still, though, they don't have a whole lot of time. 45 seconds to get a full execution. Train is almost cruel when it comes to this A site because the bomb site is so far away from the initial engagement. So these amount of seconds remaining actually become quite crucial, and as you said, their nades are trash. 2 flashbangs, a player within the site. They're basically just going to have to kill everyone. I think that's the only way they win this round, and they're almost surrounded. The bomb just about going to try and make its way through, but it's been dropped and there's only 10 seconds left. Kills come up, and actually they've somehow made this work, Mitch. I don't understand.
They didn't even plant it initially. That is ludicrous. So I'm not sure which player it was, but one of them came up, took the bomb, and then just dropped it again. It was like, no, I'm not planning it. 7 seconds left. What are you doing, madman? So very odd decision making, all in all. Again, they just take those fights, they win them out, and that's where I feel like, you know, a lot of the time we're having these okay approaches to a round when it comes towards the after side, but they just don't have either the firepower to back it up or the synergy to make their plans work. Sometimes it feels like they're almost playing against each other. So they're on different pages of the same book. Well, some of them. Some of the plays that we've had, it's not even that they're on different pages of the same book. It's that they're in different aisles of the library completely.
Do you know what I think it is? It's not even that. I think you need to go a step further. It's like old Tai Lu, where they were literally speaking different languages.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is. And like we're getting some sort of tactical pause or technical pause. Hard to tell, but it's counting down, so I assume not. This is, of course, the choice of After Gaming. And it's not been going too badly, if I'm being honest. The T side was pretty reasonable. As said, though, I feel like I remember this in the past when I used to watch MVP. Anybody who don't know MVP, they don't really exist to the same extent anymore, at least from what I know. In fact, Zine, I believe, is playing within a complete mixed team of different regions. But they used to pick train. And it would always be one of those circumstances where they would do really well on one half and then get banged out on the other. And I'm fairly certain it was just that they didn't know how to play the CT side, which was a bit of a weird one. So I'm hoping we're not going to see the same from After. Bingo, it's actually going to kick things off. Now, a bit of a solo play coming out here. There's a few of them. Arcus has definitely had one of those games. Like, he's still getting kills, but they've always had me on the edge of my seat. Like, oh, that was not clean. That was not comfortable. And in rounds where you're looking to try and build up some cash, this is not the best circumstance to be having a few whiffs.
Really good shot by 9. Little flick up. That's a rifle removed and Wang left alone to 1v3. I don't know what else he can really do in this situation other than try to find a rifle. There's some down in Ivy for him to pick up. But he's coming on out T main. 9 is low, so maybe an opportunity to find a kill. There we go. That's a rifle now. This could start to spiral. You'd have to hit the headshot, though. This MAC-10, because he has no armor, will wreck him. And it just swings out. First bullet landed. That was it. Fight was over as soon as that happened, pretty much.
This is where things actually start to get competitive, though. Or at least, hopefully. We should see the AWP onto Wang, which, as we saw on the T side, was an absolute game changer. As we sort of pointed out, like that was a 6-0 start for Tiger, which eventually ended as an 8-7 and, well, it was 8-6 at one point because they won 8 rounds in a row. Even still, it's evident that Tiger have been keeping things cleaner. It's nice almost to have this extra stat. Something we don't really see too often in CS is these sort of averages. And considering the scoreline is dead even, evidently there's been a few players saving maybe on Tiger, but also the rounds that they have won have kept a few extra players alive.
It does definitely feel like for the majority of the time anyways, at least on full buys, any convincing round tends to be Tigers, and anything that's close or tight is the composition of any wins that After find. Just taking a look at that. Very aggressive control into Pop Dog, but it was taken relatively late, so Sakai should have been heard running in there. I mean, they're going to presume anyways that someone is in that position. And having it basically confirmed, good opening down towards Ivy. Now just barreling forward on the back of it, but how do they deal with Pop? How does Cabal get that rotate? Well, maybe he won't. That's a smoke in towards the site. They're going to come up through spawn and potentially wrap the back of the B site. Oh, maybe not.
That's a pretty rough position for Wang to be in. He's managed to get himself at least back behind them. Actually, somehow he's managed to thread the needle here. It didn't look like there was a way that he'd actually get out of this round. Instead, he might be the one that could actually take it for them, because Tiger, they've taken control of the site, but they've given up a lot of control in the meantime. Luckily, with Sakai falling, it now leaves this as a fairly standard retake with not much positioning being held by the CT side whatsoever. So you'd need some real serious mistakes, and I'll be honest, I don't even like the fact that Wang went for anything there. Like, once your teammate dies on the other side, you're basically just hoping that your opponents just peek into you completely. And with the opportunity to save an AWP, that seems like a silly play.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Bringing that op forward could have made a massive difference into future rounds. Maybe there's still a chance to save over some weapons. Never mind. Bingo's being wrecked. The fence got in his way. And so Tiger pick up the lead now 12-11. They're making sure that it's a nice long series, especially with those tech issues. But there's no victor just yet. Nothing confirmed. We're going the full distance. All aboard as we're on the way to the last stop. We don't know which of the two tracks will be taken to get there. Or Tiger just gonna... What?
I'd love for this song to just play at like random moments of my life. Just like I'm about to just take a glass of water and it's like, and it's like I'd automatically just down it. I don't think I'd have any other choice.
You're on your way to the gym. So you'd never
scenarios that will never happen with Mitch. I'm not a gym person. I don't mind doing like workouts at home or like going out and doing something, but just going in a room full of other sweaty people, just I am far too socially awkward for that.
See, I'm more like, I like doing stuff sort of efficiently. So if you think about the machines, for example, if you get dumbbells and work out, it's not like the exact posture it needs to be. You're working out multiple things at the same time. You're keeping them up to go sideways and all this sort of stuff. Whereas you can just go to the machine and work out a specific set of muscles for a specific amount of time.
I don't disagree with you at all. I just don't like people.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And also, you have to think that there has also been some guy's butt crack on whatever machine you're using. So,
oh, hell yeah.
Like maybe like James Banks or something like that. Probably been
all up in
don't
wear shorts at the gym.
Dear Lord. No, you wear tracksuit bottoms, right?
Exactly.
That's where you were going with that, of course.
Yeah. Why? What did you think I was saying?
No, that is exactly... Mankini.
I got a nudist gyms.
I honestly hope that doesn't exist, but probably does.
It probably does, yeah. Please don't wipe down the equipment after you use it.
Yeah. Why has Marek done that? Man advantage. Walks out Ivy and just hands away a kill. No support. Like maybe if there was a flashbang then I can forgive him, but that was just him going on a little wander and explore around the map.
So not only that, what confuses me is he peeked the right side as if he knew someone was there, but didn't worry at all about dumpster or left side or close left corner. He was just crouch peeking the right like, I know you're there. I'm gonna get you.
There's 15 seconds.
What are they doing? They don't even have time, do they?
I think they do, just.
But there's a player in pop. Sakai, peek it!
I can't. What? How's that worked?
They've ran Ivy. Like, just straight ran at Ivy with 15 seconds left.
Never mind. Oh, no, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. They got a bomb plant. That's it. 9 needs to try and clutch a 1 versus 4. That honestly, Tiger must have the biggest balls in the entire universe to just with like 10 seconds left go, all right, let's push now. I can't believe it. Like they hadn't. There could have been anyone there. There should have been. Really, there should have been someone there. I'm blown away. But ultimately, the round has gone to After Gaming. They have made themselves a little bit of extra money, and of course, for the T's, that bomb plant somewhat irrelevant because they have so much cash. Anyway, yeah, look. So this is 10 seconds. They make their way down pot. Nice round from Sakai. That was really nice.
That is odd. Yeah, I thought Sakai was going to swing earlier, but worked out better for him that he didn't because they just presumed that it was clear. Very weird situation all in all.
Ooh.
Close. No cigar. And now, we looking towards this B push. It's going to be full commitment. Bingo's going to get a lot done. Wang's here to support, but he's going to be smoked off. No, he's not. They've run out before the smokes have popped. Why have they done that? Bingo's deleted at least, though, so it's down to a 4v4 with the damage taken from him and the nades. This is a fairly winnable opportunity now for after.
Even still, though, 9 in this aggressive position is someone that they have to clear. They're throwing out all of these smokes. He's actually going to get aggressive even further, wanting to try and end this game, and he may be bringing it home. A nice couple of kills. Urkus has found another one, and Oi, well, he knows there's a man here. That's at least the free one. And that's the other free one. We're going to get a third free one? No. Okay, other round. Again, it's been a bit of a quieter game for Cabal, especially in comparison to the last map where he was the showstopper, so to speak. But yeah, we've seen some step-ups. 9 has been fantastic with the AWP, which is exactly what you want to see in a map like Train. We've got an XM coming out as well. I can only imagine that's going to be going into Pop. I can see the argument for an aggressive B ramp play as well. And if you're really letting loose a little bit, go over towards Ivy. Anything else, and well, you're basically hoping for a mistake. That
it's been a fun day.
I think we need like someone who has too much spare time to go through and calculate how many nades hit and how many nades missed, because I think it's gonna be fairly even.
Might even be favored towards the missed side. You never know.
Patient play out from 9. I feel like eventually Wang will peak. You can't keep the Wang down for long. Well.
God damn it, Tom. So, anyways, before Wang gets into a bomb site and starts blowing his hot load of lead all over these players, we're gonna have to see how they want to get out,
Bit much.
how they want to push over on the T side. And smokes are going out towards the A side, but no movement just yet. These players are hunkered down. They're waiting for a mistake. They're waiting for someone to get a little bit too excited. And it looks like Oi is going to be the first point of contact. He's stuck at E-box, but he's managed to evade their detection, and he gets one for free before eventually going down. A spree of kills, a flurry of frags, as everything goes to Tiger, and it's all down to Wang. He is going to have to come through massively. He comes from behind, though, but the bullets not able to penetrate his opponents as they walk away unscathed. Wang on the floor, and that is going to be 15-12.
So you have to bear in mind that, so this was an 8-7 half in favor of After on their T side. Oh no, was it? Yeah, it was in their favor. And then they won the second round force buy in this second half and got 2 more rounds off of that. So that's 3. Since then, they have managed 1 round on their CT side of their own map choice. That is pretty abysmal. But how? How? He was almost dead from the first guy. How's he got 2? That's a miracle.
At least he goes down eventually, but yeah, what a hold. No, Sakai, that was not the play. He tries to shift walk in, don't know what his crosshair was aiming at either.
He's waiting for the flash.
You flashing, bro, yeah, you flashing. Oh, the worst part about that flash was it missed as well. Like they messed it
it's
up.
like, you know, the dog in Up, where like he's doing something and he just goes squirrel, but it's like that, but with the flash, and just looks at it. Squirrel.
Or we'll say, after look a little bit distracted. They're not checking everything. Oi has been able to find nothing before going down. Marek, the spray is good, but all he's done is taken Dobu's ankles away. And with that, it's all gone. A big clutch by Tiger, a round win, a game win, and that is A 2-0. One that we expected realistically.